A video editor asked if I could share the whole process of how I edited that intro. The biggest struggle editors face is not having ideas. It feels like everybody else is creative but you. Well, the entire breakdown would take a long time, but there's one part of this intro that is extremely easy to make and it immediately grabs attention. At least worked for me. I'm talking about these magazine cutout letters that are dancing around. That sequence is perfect because there are a few things you can learn. First, how and where to get these types of assets, then how to turn them into that cartoonish style. Next we will cover 3D camera and movement, and lastly we'll use stylizing methods so even your grandma would watch it twice. Okay, first we need these magazine cutout letters. And no, we don't need to go buy a magazine, cut the letters out, take a photo, and import it into After Effects. We can just use AI. This is not a promo, but for this I used Google AI Studio, particularly Nano Banana Pro. But you can also try it with other models. Then I used this prompt to get the perfect style. I specifically wanted to have them on the green screen so I could easily remove the background. Then I reran it a few times and it eventually gave me this. So now we can bring it to After Effects. By the way, I prepared these letters in the description below. It's this link, not the one where you have my previous animations for After Effects that make editing much faster, and I use them in all my videos. So yeah, just click this one. So now we need to take our picture and drop it on the timeline, and here we're gonna apply an effect called Key Light 1.2. Then I'm gonna head over to the screen color and I'm gonna grab the picker and we're gonna select green. And now we need to separate the letters. So for this, we're gonna need to make sure that our layer is selected, and we're gonna head over here to the rectangle tool, and we're gonna select the first letter. If you want to adjust the mask, you can just double click it and do it like that. So now I'm gonna duplicate it by hitting Ctrl D, then I'm gonna double click the mask, and we're gonna move it to the right. Now let's adjust it so we can clearly see D. Then we're gonna duplicate it again, and I'm gonna select the mask, drag it to the right, and pretty much the same procedure for all the letters. Now we need to recenter the anchor point for each of the letters, so we can select them all. And I have a custom shortcut for this, but I believe it was Ctrl plus Alt plus Home. So let's do it. And now our key component is make the letters dance around. So what I'm gonna do is select the first one over here, and I'm gonna hit P. Then I'm gonna hold down Alt, and I'm gonna click on the stopwatch, and over here in the expression window, we're gonna type in posterize. Then let's hit enter for this expression, and we're gonna type in 6 in the brackets. Then let's go down by one line, and I'm gonna type in wiggle, and we're gonna have 5,6 in brackets. So that way the letter is gonna move around in X and Y, but we also want to target rotation. So I'm gonna copy this expression, then I'm gonna hold Shift, click R, and I'm gonna alt click the stopwatch, and we're gonna paste it over here. And you definitely don't want to leave it like that, because otherwise it would be a little bit too much. Actually, it looks pretty cool. I've changed my mind. Let's set it up to 2. Now we're gonna take the expression from the position, I'm gonna copy it, and let's open up position in other letters, and we're gonna subsequently paste it to all the positions. Okay, let's do the same with the rotation. And now if we play it back, we're gonna have letters dance. Now let's squeeze the letters together a little bit more, just like that. And then we're gonna select them all, hit S, and let's bump up the scale. Alright, so now what you want to do is select all the letters, right click, go over to pre-compose, call it text, let's hit enter. And now we're gonna take something from the project panel, which is gonna be Crunch 340. So this is an asset from Texture Labs. They got plenty of free resources, plenty of textures. This is not a promo, but they are actually becoming an integral part of this channel. We're literally using their stuff all the time. So I'm gonna take it on top of our text. And now we're gonna head over to modes, and we're gonna use the track matte from the texture, and we're gonna parent it to our text. So now our text has gotten disabled, so we're gonna enable it again. And then over here in the mode for the texture, we're gonna set it up to overlay. So now we also want to use an expression for the texture, so it kind of dances around. So I'm gonna hit P, alt click the stopwatch, type in posterize, and here in the brackets we're gonna type in 6. Then let's go down one line and we're gonna type in wiggle, and in brackets let's add maybe 4,150. Alright, so now we can create another pre-comp, so I'm gonna select these two. Right click, go over to pre-compose, call it text again, or maybe text plus texture. And then I actually took a screenshot from one of my videos, so here you have it. And I thought it would be cool as a background, so I'm gonna drop it below our text plus texture. And then obviously we need to blur it out, so I'm gonna apply fast box blur, and let's bump it up. And also I don't want to take all the attention from the text, so I'm gonna apply exposure, and we're gonna decrease the value over here. Okay, pretty cool. Then we can bump up the scale a little bit. And now we're gonna need to introduce the camera because I want to kind of get that 3D feel. So for this, I'm gonna right click, go over to new, camera, and here We're gonna pick 2-node camera, then preset 35mm. We can disable enable depth of field.
What?
And then let's hit OK. It doesn't really matter, but I like to keep my camera on the bottom. And then I'm gonna right click, go over to new, null object, and we're gonna call it cam control 1. Then what you want to do is parent the camera to the null. So we're gonna grab the pick whip from the camera and attach it to the null. Then let's go back to switches, and now we need to enable 3D for everything, just like that. And then we can actually change the color for this as well, so we know that this is controlling the movement. And now I'm gonna hit Alt-Shift-P in order to create a keyframe for positioning in our cam control 1. Then I'm gonna move it forward, say maybe here. Then I'm gonna get closer to the text, and I'm gonna select both keyframes, hit F9 in order to ease, and then we're gonna head over to the graph editor. So here I'm gonna click on this icon in order to fit the graph, and we're gonna create a peak on the left, just like that. Right, looks pretty cool. We can even squeeze it in a little bit more. So now what I'm gonna do is duplicate this layer. Let's hit U, delete the last keyframe, and we're gonna parent 1 to 2. In case if you want more in-depth tutorial on the movement, you can check out this video. So now I'm gonna take the time indicator and place it somewhere here, and I'm gonna zoom out even more. Then I'm gonna select these 2 keyframes, and I'm actually gonna hit F9, go over to the graph editor, fit the graph, and we're gonna create another peak on the left. So here we have a snappy movement, and this layer is responsible for prolonging the movement. So this is kind of smoothing out the whole thing, because without it, it will look weird. So now we created the camera for a reason, because currently we're working in 2D. So in order to make it 3D, we're gonna need to take the background and push it away a little bit. So for this, I'm gonna open up the second view. Actually, let's do it over here in the custom view 1. And now I'm gonna take the background, and with the blue arrow, I'm gonna push it away. You can also do it in the position. So let's hit P and take the third value and just drag it away. All right, we can go back to our active camera. And now as you can notice, we got a little bit of extra depth. I feel like it's not visible enough, so I'm gonna probably move it away a little bit more and then bump up the scale. All right, then we can bump up the scale for the text. And now our final step is just stylizing the whole thing. So for this, I'm gonna apply curves effect, and I'm gonna probably just drag down the shadows so it's a little bit more contrasty. Okay, slide S curve should do. Then what we need to do is duplicate ideas. So I'm gonna hit Ctrl D, and the bottom layer is gonna serve as a light rays. So I'm gonna rename it real quick. So now what we could do with this is apply CC radial fast blur. And now if I bump up the amount, we're gonna get this cool effect. So this looks absolutely amazing. Then we're gonna right click, go over to new adjustment layer, and we're gonna call it CC lens. Let's apply the effect, and we're gonna bump up the size so it kind of stretches out the sides. Okay, I think this should do. So now before we add something that will crash our PC, we're gonna apply another effect that will also probably crash our PC. So this is that LED look, so I'm gonna right click over to new, adjustment layer, call it LED, and I actually have a preset for this. Where is it? Here it is. So as you can notice, if we zoom in, these are these little pixels. So in case if you want to learn how to do it, I'm gonna leave you a link on the screen. I believe it's the third method from that tutorial. Pretty cool effect, I feel like it's bumping up the quality. So now as for our final 2 touches, we're gonna apply a camera shake. And this is the reason we picked 2-node camera, because we can go over to transform, alt click the stopwatch for point of interest, and here we're gonna type in wiggle, and let's add 1,8. So this is gonna give you that little camera shake, which is looking pretty cool over here. And now we're gonna add our final component, which is the deep glow effect. This is a paid plugin, but you can also go with glow. But I feel like deep glow is a little bit better, actually a lot better. We just need to turn down the exposure, and then I'm gonna probably change the blend mode to add, and let me decrease it even more. And this looks freaking clean. Let me just turn on the motion blur for everything, and we got a pretty clean effect. I feel like we could zoom in even more at the beginning. Yeah, it's probably a little bit better. Alright, so that will be it. Hopefully you enjoyed the tutorial. Make sure to check out the video on the screen, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers guys.